Ever an honor to read before you. Pardon me if I mumble a bit. I just had a couple crowns put in. A tale of the newly rich flaunting their wealth through the use of excessive air conditioning. On dining with the nouveau riche. Vanity is a perverse mutator of idiosyncrasies and numerous foibles. For those suddenly rich and with scant restraint, it can translate to serious lost marbles. Too few inhibitions modify whim. What defines mated for a winner? Barely solvent me simply envisioned a feast when I was invited to dinner. The lord and lady of the manse, in obsessive social posturing, extolled the virtues of sealed space and modern air conditioning. I enter and seek elitist clues, and there, via skylight crystalline, the dusk weeps in through arctic tints, cold colors which banish heat as sin. And as I speak through frosted teeth, to thank this chance to sup their home, I let some frigid vapors slip and shiver from my toes to dome. You are most wise and affluent, I venture to my hosts, to keep your thermostat so low and preserve your skin as ghosts. Your paleness most becomes your state as favored clientele of power moguls and politicos and Eskimos as well. Who could but glean authentic zeal with which you flaunt your wealth? Each snowflake evokes prosperity and robust fiscal health. Outside it rages late July, 'tis the northern hemisphere, and yet within just freeze point shy of alcohol, I fear. We chat a bit, I cough some phlegm, my lungs begin to seize. My hostess wears a reverse tiara of my last flash frozen sneeze. Those charming facets sparkle bright, though notice they have not. Rear tendrils shine like brilliantine, but my hosts don't give a jot. Suspect, think I, I'm not the first to pale from sudden flu, yet with pride the guests that shake the least are those most honored too. And I am honored to the deepest core, and I pray that I am able to be worthy of this mod-age pharaoh, chilling out at his banquet table. My vodka cocktail forms scummy rhyme as I give their cat a pet. His heat is welcome at any price, but he's not breathing yet. The cook chimes out, "'Tis time to dine," and I drop the cat with a clunk. Aren't cats supposed to land on their feet and not break into chunks? We quit our couches to take our place amongst the many privileged guests. Mock heraldry in the dining room, and on the plates and linen their crests. Music was piped for the throng to hear, as an elegant backdrop to spice a spirited evening of vibrant converse midst the airs of Finlandia on ice. The table itself was impressively long, colorfully bedecked with floral bounty, and for unspecified tax advantage, my host dined in the next county. I regretted my lack of opera glasses to inspect frost-damaged beauty. The miasma of flower scent hung low, withering in decorative duty. The meal was uniquely au chef prepared, each utensil and plate a symbol of taste, breeding, and affluence, but each course was, alas, the size of a thimble. A multi-hued work of culinary art, each dish a masterful presentation, a dab centered upon the gold-trimmed plates that bespoke of elegance and starvation. You've seen those exotic-looking lumps with garnishes and drizzled sauces. They look like mega expensive bucks, but equate to belt-cinch losses. I suspect the servants suffered quite a bit, for the thin ones who were able were secretly licking all the cleared plates and lingered at the small bonfire under the table. Our toes might actually have gotten warm given sufficient time to roast, but overhead speakers kept snapping on to propose yet another champagne slush toast. Towards table's other end, I dimly saw our distant benefactors raise their glass. The cuisine's the thing, they wisely spake, and mouthed other phrases of highest class. Through wine-soaked rain freeze, I fumbled for salt in this chill Neo-Gomorrah to anoint my peas when hallucination came for our hosts, a seeming aurora. We appropriately concluded our repast with a baked Alaska confection and skied vigorously out of the banquet room to the strains of an Inuit top 10 selection. Crossing crackling, petrified carpet fibers, at the front door I expressed my warmest pitch, a sincere and grateful farewell to our hosts and to the pretensions of the nouveau riche. All right, this is my latest poem. Just finished it in August. Innocence Lost, Little George and the Newly Corrupted Sky. Young George, oh how he heard of the excitement of the Great War, yet low and high, 1914 passed. Home front dirt looked similar, cobbled streets, the rainy, foggy azure sky. In that tentative moment, the broad beckoning airways were there for us to choose. Such hopeful awe when initial first ascensions climbed into those birdie blue heights, stunning to contemplate. There was naught but limited perspective to lose, and every worthy gain there was, elevating each courageous flight. But the craftiness behind the craft was never more than us. Despite new altitude or speed, we could not outmaneuver our hunter's psyche inbred, and inevitably corrupted, the atmosphere was reconfigured thus: a world without a roof, beneath which fear and naivete bled. Old 1980s George regaled us with biplane and loop-de-loop tales at work. In 1915, he was a London toddler when the first ever mass civilian bombings hit. Zeppelin dominance, explosions, panic, a playground ideal gone war berserk. 6+ decades on, his old eyes betrayed a tinge of cowering small boy horror that a stoic adult tongue could never admit. 20th century megawars are gone, the issues and era a rippled conclusion. The colossal aerial armadas receded and by obsolete masses corroded and rusted. But the sky has continued to bite for some populations, dashed of fair and fine illusion. And those know, more than most, that the lofty nurturing airs may never again be trusted. Formerly an ancient domain of arbitrary gods and a dream realm of brilliant visionaries, morphed vision became potential, perverted to its worst. Shame for us all, a millennia sought wonder, distorted to airborne vectored death, and that the living exist exposed, now a full century cursed. 100 years of bombs, bullets, missiles, napalm, drones, satellite spies, and soon, perhaps orbiting murder to menace a world coerced. All futures may get a turn of dread, re-reaping torn innocence from once virgin skies. But before the future, remember with wistful sadness that it was terrified little George the sky fell on first. And from my book, I have a couple poems, Dual Ventures to Ennui. The Physical Sum, and they're not happy poems. Under earth and wave and common sky, the valiant lay, the cowards lay. All who live become all who die. The unlucky, the frail, the babes who cry, the handsome and or charming with manners disarming, the ugly, the noble, the killers alarming. All dust, or soon dust in a most permanent way, under earth and wave and common sky, for all who live become all who die. The timeless sea cleanseth, We're naught but castles in the sand, each grand design a unique plan. The waves contest the near at hand, the wind it scours the fragile land. All castles but gestures, tiny and frail, a moment's bold battlement before they fail, a cry against infinity, a bitter, brief rail, a keep that's no keep, soon lost to the gale. Thank you.